Hi guys, it's Bridget. So another month is just around the corner and that means that it's time for my September TBR. I cannot believe that August is already gone and we're heading into fall soon. I'm actually gonna have fewer books this month than usual on my TBR because I'm getting married the first weekend of October and I just know that September is going to be a crazy month of planning and getting things ready and just general stress. So I don't think I'll have as much time for reading, but I've picked some good books, some shorter ones that hopefully I can still get a decent amount of reading in. The first book on my TBR this month is actually Song of Achilles, which is a rollover from last month. I didn't get to it in August, but I really do want to read this, so it's going to be first on my list for September. The next book that I want to read is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. These books are so popular on BookTube, but I know pretty much next to nothing about them. I'm so late to the game on this one, and I thought it was high time that I dive into this series and kind of see what they're all about. I honestly don't really know what the plot of these books are, and I do kind of want to keep it that way, so unfortunately I can't really give you much of a synopsis, but I do know that it's about magic and defending a kingdom from destruction, and I think some like YA romance. Those are my general impressions of what to expect going into this book, so hopefully I'm not totally missing the mark here. I feel like this is going to be a really stressful month just with all of the wedding planning that we have to finish. So I'm really hoping that this book just becomes something that's fun and easy to read that will help me kind of turn my brain off at the end of the day. The next book that I want to read in September is The Deep by River Solomon. And I am so excited to read this. I've heard so many good things about it. From what I can gather, the story is about a society of mermaids, essentially, who are descendants of pregnant African women who were thrown overboard from slave ships. These people live in the ocean and they have little to no memory of the horrors of their past and where they come from, just because it is too traumatic for them to really fully remember their history. To keep their history from being forgotten, one member of this society, who is the historian, carries the burden of keeping all of these memories and remembering them for themselves, and then they will pass that on to the next person. I'm expecting a really emotional, really unique read from this book, and I'm really excited to jump into it and see how the author pulls this off. The next book in September that I want to read is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid. This is a thriller suspense novel about a couple who are on their way to this remote farm, and along the way the girlfriend somehow gets left behind and stranded at a deserted high school. From there, it looks like the book is going to explore several kind of psychological issues, which honestly really freaks me out, so I'm hoping it's not actually too scary and it's more like literary, so we'll see. I think it's going to be themes like free will and solitude and fear in general, so I'm really interested to see how this all pulls together and kind of what creepy elements are going to be interwoven into it. I feel like it's going to be really atmospheric, and I am hoping that at the end of it I get that feeling where I'm like, what did I just read? So we'll see if that actually ends up happening. The last book that I want to read in September is The Space Between Worlds by Michaiah. This is a recent purchase of mine that I did actually feature in a book haul that I did earlier this month, so if you have not checked that out already, definitely do that. I will put a link above and also in the description below. The book is set in a future where humans can travel through the multiverse, so essentially they can jump to parallel worlds, but only as long as your counterpart on that world, your doppelganger, is already dead. Our protagonist in this book can travel to tons of these different worlds because all of her doppelgangers are really horrible at surviving and they're dead on pretty much all of the other worlds except for her, so she has tons of options available to her. It seems like she's going to be drawn into this larger plot and the action will ensue from there. I'm really excited to jump into this. I just love the idea of multiple worlds and parallel worlds and the differences between them. Also, I am so psyched that this book features a queer female relationship because I feel like there aren't that many books that focus on female LGBT relationships, and I am really excited to see if this one lives up to my expectations. So hopefully this video gave you a better idea of what I'm hoping to read this month. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a shorter TBR than usual because anyone who has ever planned a wedding knows how much goes into it and how stressful it is. So I'm expecting to not be able to read as much as I normally do. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have read these books and enjoyed them, or just let me know what's on your own TBRs for September. Love hearing what you all are reading. If you enjoyed this video, please do remember to like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys all next time.